Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. Today is video 1 of the Besties collab that I am doing with Craft with Tea. There will be a total of 5 videos and they will be released every Tuesday in the month of September. So for today I will be creating my first layout using the reflection kit as we have discussed in the introduction video. So as you can see on the right hand corner, we're both using the same sketch, and I have it up on my right side of my screen, and it's a very simple layout. And for whatever reason, I really struggled picking my papers. It probably took me about half an hour to figure out what papers I'd use. A lot of the prints on this paper are very large, so it would be very hard with this particular sketch to use a large print image on your paper. But I did end up finding this beautiful roses, papers with roses, and then this green paper that matched perfectly with the leaves in that paper. I decided to use that wood grain paper, which is absolutely gorgeous. And unfortunately, there's only 2 sheets, and I've just used one as my background for the page. You saw me tearing my paper, and I used a ruler to get the precise tear that I wanted. Using the ruler definitely gives you a more precise tear, which you would not get if you were just simply tearing it with both hands. I'm going to ink all my edges with Tim Holtz Distress ink, and I believe I'm using the color Tea Stain, which is a nice neutral brown color. I thought it would work well with my background since I have the wood grains and they're like a grayish brownish color, so it definitely did work very well. Once I started hearing everything, and you'll see it in a minute. Of course, I have to get a straight line here since I didn't. But I'm going to also ink these edges on these 2 papers, which the green one you really don't have to go all the way around since the bottom part of it will be covered. But the flowers, I did do all 4 sides of it. Once I started hearing everything, I quickly realized, actually, there you go. I didn't even adhere everything. I realized that I really preferred flipping my layout, which would be upside down compared to what the sketch is. I often do that. I really like changing it up a little bit. I'm going to use this red paper to back my photo, but first I'm going to use just a normal piece of white cardstock, which I'm basically doing about 1/8 of an inch frame around my picture. You can see the difference with the white paper behind my the photo compared to not having it. It really makes the picture pop. Funny story, you can probably see my paper cutter is missing a part. I had dropped it and that little white stick that I'm adding on there went flying across the room. But that is why the paper would not cut. But once I put that in, my cutter was working back to normal. So now I'm going to use the red and white paper as my second layer behind the photo. And again, using about 1/8 of an inch is what I do. It's just to give it a little separation between the white and rose paper and my picture. I'm also going to pop it up eventually. And for those that wonder, I do use Fun Foam, which I just purchased at either Michael's or one of the craft stores, or even Walmart has them. You have to really look because there's different thicknesses, and I like the really, really thin one. I would say it's probably about 1/8 of an inch because I don't want my items to be always popping up like very dimensional. I just like them to have a little separation from the background so that it creates its own natural shadows. So now I'm going to adhere everything to my page. And really it was pretty easy once, once I did this, the rest of the layout came together fairly quick. I was trying to use this frame and I played around with it for a little bit, but really it felt kind of large for the area that I had going. So I might use that in a different video. I'm going through the sticker sheet and I do find a sticker that I really liked, and it said moment captured. You'll see me pull it up and I will ink the edges, hopefully. And it's going to live right there once I stick my picture down. And I kind of put my picture to the right side, right third of the page. I didn't want it smack in the middle, so I kind of gave myself more of a tilted, right side heavy layout. The you and me that you just saw me pull out, I will eventually use, and I will eventually make a cluster down at the bottom left-hand side of the page. So I just placed it on the side there until I figure out I needed something under it to kind of create a cluster. So first I decided to come up with my title, which turns out to be Celebrate. And at first I was thinking of doing it up top above the picture, but I quickly realized that I'd rather have it at the bottom because the bottom there's a lot more space and it wouldn't look as cluttered. So I'm looking for my thickers ruler, which you'll see me pull out here, and it's actually awesome because it has lots of little grids and you can actually figure out the exact placement of your thickers or your alphabet letters, and make sure that they're even and that their spacing is even. I always forget to use this tool, but when I do remember, I'm grateful that I have it. So make sure to take a look in my description below. You'll see a link to T's video, and I will also be putting an iNote or iCard right around here so that it'll give you a link straight to her video and her interpretation of this sketch. It's crazy how we could have the same exact items to use the same sketch, and we made sure that we would not discuss what we're doing with our layouts, and they're completely different. Behind the picture, you'll see on the sketch that there's a little bit of probably some sort of mixed media, whether it be paint or some sort of stain, but I really didn't want to do any of that, so I totally skipped that whole part of it. And that's the great part about sketch. You use the parts that you want. I'm going to use these acetate flourishes, and I really like the way it nestled around my moments captured, and I quickly realized that this would work perfectly to anchor my you and me down at the bottom of the page. This acetate sheet had such beautiful things on it, but I didn't want to use it all up in one layout, so I'm going to look through some of the ephemera pieces, and I end up using this Best Day, and I'm actually going to put it above the moment captured. And I will be popping it up using a little piece of fun foam. I really love how that little bottom cluster is starting out with the you and me. I think that little flourish really makes it pop out. So now I'm just going to continue to go through my chipboard, and I'm looking I found a heart that matched perfectly with these flowers, and I will use other pieces. I think this one says Fun Times, and I'm putting it down at the bottom. So now I'm looking through these stickers, and I was going to use this blue cloud, and then I end up not using it. But I do end up taking one of these animal, I think it's an elephant, and really I wanted it for the color. So I cut off the face of it, or the trunk, and I'm pushing the trunk now behind that little cluster there on the left hand side of my page. I'm going to start adhering everything, and really all I did was put a little bit of adhesive on the part of the flourish that's going to be under my picture. I'm going to take a little piece of foam tape, like I mentioned earlier, just to pop up and give this best day a little bit of height above the moments captured. And that is where I'm just going to put the little trunk part, and you really can't even tell that it's an animal. It's like an origami elephant, so you know, it's not really very defined unless you look at the whole thing. So I also picked out a heart that I put down the bottom. It was one of the stickers. And basically now I'm just going to start looking for other things that I can use as sprinkles. And I come across these buttons, and they had some really cute, perfectly matched colors. So, you know, obviously it's a kit, so it's going to match. And I really love the way they came out. I did take the foam off of the back of those buttons because they already had dimension, and I felt that the foam was a little too much. So as you can see, I'm placing one over by Best Day. I will be placing one next below the heart, next to the you and me, and then I will be placing a third one over by the E in my title Celebrate. At first I thought I was going to place it there, but I really liked it there on the other side. So to finish off my layout, I will be using some not ephemera, enamel dots that I had in my stash. I will also be stamping my, what a day. I've had to stop this video like 4 times because my dog has been going ballistic, but I apologize for my mind being everywhere. I'm going to stamp my date, and unfortunately this stamp is going to have a very short life because it came in the kit, but it only goes up to 2020. So unless you're doing old pictures, I mean, I really won't be able to use it for any future ones unless I leave the year out. And I really loved the font on it. It was nice and small, and it really came out nice and clear. I really, really liked the stamp, and only could wish that it was, you know, at least a couple years, had a couple more years of life to it. So I'll also be adding some hearts and some gold splatters, which that you will be seeing shortly, and I think that's what I'm kind of looking for now. I'm looking for my enamel dots. I'm going through the pinks, and I really didn't have anything that went well with the pinks. It was either too muted or it was too bright, nothing in between. So that's why I decided to go with black. I also use a black sparkly enamel and a clear enamel dot, which is from the Nuvo drops, which I make ahead of time. So these hearts, I'm just going to pick. Actually, the pink and the green color definitely match very well with the paper in this collection. So I'm going to use the green and the pink, and I think this is where I start looking and I find my clear ones. And like I had said in a previous video, I usually take a wax sheet of paper, and I will, at the end of the night when I'm done crafting, I will clear off my table, I'll put my wax sheet down, and I will drop Nuvo drops onto the wax sheet and let it dry overnight. And they will create little enamel dots in all different sizes, whatever you want. And I keep them in this little ashtray. And so whenever I need them, I have them, and I've dwindled down to just a few colors, so I probably will be making some pretty soon. I'm using a jewel picker to help me pick these little enamel dots up because they're very tiny, and it gets kind of complicated with when you have long nails. Actually, even if you don't have nails, they get pretty complicated. And now I think I am going to find my black enamel dots, which live in a little box behind me, which you'll see here. I have my black and my white, and I will pick 2 different kinds of black enamel dots for my layout. And I also find another little, looks like a flower. I'm not even sure where or how I got it, but it could have been an old earring, and you'll see me pull it out shortly from this box. And this is where I keep all like those little things that are just kind of laying around everywhere. And I have multiple boxes, and they each carry about 2 colors. So I'm using some wet adhesive. There's the flower I was telling you about. And it's really pretty. It has rhinestones. It almost looks like little onyxes, and then it has like a little clear crystal in the middle. And it looked really pretty with the rest of the layout. So I'm going to leave you right about now since I'm almost at the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go over to T's channel and check her video out and like and subscribe. And we will see you next week, same day of the week, Tuesday, same time, and with a new layout with a new sketch using the same paper collection. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.